Today on the Morning Edition, 30 years later, a man that was sentenced as an adult while he was a teenager is requesting the courts reconsider his sentence under the new rulings. What he says about the case. Plus, there is a need for blood donations, why the need is high, and how you can lend a hand. And later, open to the public for the first time ever, we'll take a sneak peek inside the Muppet Workshop where the famous Muppets were brought to life, all as the Morning Edition starts now. Well, a behind-the-scenes look at the Muppets, that seems cool, Bailey.
That does seem pretty cool. Yeah, I'm interested to see what that's looking like.
Me too.
And you know what else I'm interested in seeing what it's looking like?
What?
The weather. We have so much warmth ahead of us this week and a lot more of that sunshine expected, so it's going to be great. It's going to be a great week, especially as we start off June on a fairly strong note. Right now in Anchorage and in Palmer, you can see that beautiful sunrise in Fairbanks. Just complete sunny and clear skies. You can see a few of those clouds off in the distance, but one area where you can expect to see a little bit more of that cloud cover throughout the day is going to be southeast, holding on to a little bit more of those sunny skies to start off the day, but that cloud cover is quickly going to roll in. Now for today in Anchorage, temperatures are sitting much closer to that record high rather than what we typically see for this time of year. But across South Central, temperatures are trending about 10 to 15 degrees warmer than what they typically are this time of year. So like I said, we are starting off June on a fairly strong note. Summer is officially here. And right now, as you make your way out of the door this morning, feeling just a little bit chillier into areas like the interior and up into the North Slope as well, with temperatures sitting in the 30s. But for today and currently, temperatures a little bit more to the south of the state are trending in the 50s, but we are going to climb up into the 70s for nearly every region across Alaska. Southeast holding on to its last day of the warmest temperatures before we slowly start to cool down. So for today, it might be a nice time to get outside and enjoy plenty of that sunshine. Here's your hiking forecast across South Central. Plenty of sunshine ahead, no matter where you are in the Kenai Peninsula. But we are seeing just slightly cooler temperatures expected for areas like Whittier and Portage Glacier. Now, this is actually my favorite hike, and you haven't been able to go to it lately because of all the rain and snow. But now we're seeing sunny skies for today. Temperatures trending in the 70s and a little bit cooler on the eastern side of the Kenai Peninsula. But as we look ahead for today, mostly sunshine expected across the entire state. The only area we're expecting to see more rain is in southeast, and that rain is expected to build in into the afternoon hours. So enjoy these warmer temperatures for today. Temperatures trending in the 70s across the region, and I'll have more coming up.
Jonathan Norton was a 16-year-old Service High student when he was accused of killing 29-year-old Dwayne Samuels. Now, more than 30 years later, Norton could be resentenced under a court ruling that requires judges to consider a defendant's age when they were sentenced as a juvenile. Rebecca Palsha tells us more.
No more joy, no more victory, defeat, heartache, no new experiences, no more of anything.
Death, murder, took everything from Dwayne Samuels when he was just 29 years old. That was back in 1989.
The last thing he felt was the barrel of a gun being held against his head as he tried to crawl to safety.
Sitting before the judge, John Norton, now graying and older, convicted at just 16 years old of killing Samuels, stealing his car, and showing a friend Dwayne's body.
People often wish for a do-over or second chance in life. This is especially true of prisoners. Now I'm here blessed with that possibility, and I feel very conflicted about even asking for it.
But he is, based on a court ruling. Norton is one of about 70 people in Alaska who were sentenced as adults for crimes committed as teens. But the ruling says their ages at the time of the crime have to be considered. To be clear, Norton is not challenging his conviction, but asking the court to reconsider his sentence.
In my original sentencing, Judge Rowland stated that I did not appreciate the gravity of my conduct, and he was absolutely right. At the time, I knew I had done wrong, but the deeper understanding of why it was wrong was not there. I had a disconnect from reality I cannot explain. And now, so many years later, time and experience have taught me. I see how far-reaching are the consequences of my actions. I see it today. I see it in this courtroom. And it does haunt me.
It will continue to, for him and the Samuels family. Rebecca Palsha, Alaska's news source.
A 51-year-old Anchorage man is on trial accused of sexually abusing two of his daughters over a span of years. Tuesday morning, cameras captured Walter Platt in court as his trial got underway. He was indicted in 2021 and faces 9 felony counts, including first and second-degree sexual abuse of a minor. The alleged abuse happened over multiple years. In opening statements, prosecutors told jurors the alleged abuse began when one daughter was 10 and the other was about 12.
We're here because Walter Platt was abusing his daughters, and that is what this trial is for. Walter Platt committed many horrific crimes against these girls throughout their childhood.
You're here because we believe that you're able to look at the facts without bias. You're able to look at the facts impartially. If you do that, if you follow the instructions that the judge gives you, that the judge already gave you, I'm confident that you'll find my client, Mr. Walter Platt, not guilty of all these charges.
The trial is scheduled to continue in Anchorage through Thursday. Mayor Suzanne LaFrance says the Alaska LNG project could cost Anchorage millions, even without the pipeline running through the city. The city would not receive direct pipeline tax revenue because the gas line would run outside of Anchorage. But the LaFrance administration says the project could add up to $173 million in public service costs. LaFrance says Anchorage could become a hub for about 10,000 workers, increasing demand for housing and emergency services.
Definitely there'll be long-term benefits, and our tax cap works great for that kind of long-term scenario. But in the short term, where we need funds, we'll need funds immediately to be able to meet the needs, those service needs of to 10,000 more people. So the short-term impact is where we need assistance.
Alaska's news source asked the governor and House and Senate Finance Committees about LaFrance's request for impact funding. The governor's office says he is not opposed to a fund that could help local governments. We have not heard back from Finance Committee lawmakers. The future of that pipeline also getting attention in Fairbanks on Tuesday. There was a rally in support of the project. They heard from Rex Cannon with Glenn Farn, who said the project has reached many of the milestones needed to move forward. State Representative Mike Prax raised concerns about whether the project will actually get underway, but supporters say a Fairbanks spur line could be critical for the interior. The Blood Bank of Alaska is asking for more donors, especially of types A and O. With the World Cup this year, the Blood Bank of Alaska is also being asked to help build up the national supply. That, along with the 4th of July celebrating 250 years of the U.S., makes local donors very important this summer.
The needs this summer are going to be very, very unique. They're going to be very, very heavy. And what that means is Alaska, because of its geographical isolation, we're gonna have to depend on ourselves in total to ensure that we have that ready blood supply available.
Walk-ins at blood bank locations are welcome, but appointments are recommended. And public art can become a part of a city's identity. That is why one artist says painting over a mural is not just covering a wall, it is erasing something a community claims as its own. Joe Allgood has a story linking an Anchorage landmark to a $25 million lawsuit.
If you've ever been to downtown Anchorage, you've probably noticed this mural. It's one of 103 around the world, but now one less after one of them, the one in Dallas, was painted over. Now the artist is suing.
This is kind of a wake-up call to all the cities that have my art and other public art that you probably shouldn't destroy it.
Artist Weiland painted his wailing walls over the course of decades. The Dallas mural was painted over in May to make way for art promoting the city's upcoming World Cup matches.
People are really mad about this because art is very, very personal. It touches the heart.
Mad enough that Weiland is suing FIFA and the building's owners for $25 million, in part to set a precedent, he says.
If I can stand up to one of the largest sports organizations, FIFA, in the world, and take them on and win, yeah, there's not going to be many people wanting to come in and do what they did.
NBC received a statement from the firm managing the building saying they were approached by World Cup organizers in March and that Weiland was notified. Weiland says he was never told and argues his art is protected by the Visual Artists' Rights Act.
I'm basically supercharged. They gave me some rocket fuel. Yeah, I mean, it's a David and Goliath taking on the biggest one, but, you know, somebody has to.
Fighting for murals around the world, like the one right here in Anchorage.
The whales and Tennessee is a special thing that people get to see up here, and it's kind of a part of Alaskan culture.
I think bringing sports and events to cities brings revenue and brings all types of things, but to paint over something like that, I think would be very distasteful.
It's our Alaskan animals.
Yeah.
It's our pride.
Despite the destruction in Dallas, Weiland's whales live on here and around the world. Thankfully, there are no plans to paint over the Anchorage mural anytime soon, or at least not any that we know of. As for the mural in Dallas, FIFA organizers in Texas said that the last little bit that remains untouched will stay that way. Joe Allgood, Alaska's news source.
Well, who doesn't love a behind-the-scenes look at a newsroom? What if it could be a look at this newsroom? Our Rebecca Paulsha sat down for a talk with our former investigative producer about his time reporting in Alaska. Catch the whole thing on the latest episode of So We Asked.
So tell me about the book. What do I expect?
What you should expect is it is fiction. It is fiction. That nobody is anybody, and characters are a conglomeration of people I worked with both before I got to Alaska and in Alaska. But it's absolutely centered and based on the 2 years I spent in Alaska. Therefore, the title, 2 Years on Another Planet. And that's the way I felt about it for a long time. That it was so different for me, Alaska and all the things that are Alaskan, that I felt like I was on another planet, not that Alaskans feel like they're on another planet. So the title reflects my disconnect, I think, in some ways, with how unique living there is and how unique the culture is.
So We Asked is published on Alaska's News Source streaming services on demand and can be found on Amazon Fire, Apple TV, and Roku. Still ahead today on the morning edition, when most people step out for a bike ride, they're back by the end of the day. But for this group of students, they'll be gone a bit longer as they're bicycling from Texas all the way here to Alaska. We'll tell you why and when you can welcome them to the last frontier.
And sunshine continues across the last frontier as wet weather makes a swift return to southeast. I'll have that timeline coming up.
Well, good Wednesday morning. It's 16 minutes past the hour. Bailey, the sunrise this morning was absolutely beautiful. I caught it on my way to work, and there were pinks in the sky. It was beautiful.
Oh yeah, Adelmi. You know, the nice thing is that we can expect a lot more of that throughout this week. A lot more sunshine is ahead for most of the state, especially here in South Central, but Alaska is getting a taste of that June warmth, starting off the summer on a strong note compared to how our spring season played out. Now, 60 degrees and 70-degree temperatures are going to continue all throughout this week for most of the state. But the only downside is that southeast is actually going to start cooling down after today. But it's okay because temperatures will still remain in the 60s, but you are transitioning from that sun to more of those rain showers. Now in Anchorage, these high temperatures are still forecasted above normal for the next couple of days. Then right around the time the weekend rolls around, we'll start to see these temperatures slightly cool down, but still trending where they typically are for this time of year by Sunday into Tuesday. So look forward to a little bit more of that warmth continuing. That sun is the thing that you need to enjoy the next couple of days. Right now, if you're making your way out of the door or if you're just tuning in, temperatures are sitting in the low 50s, low to mid 50s across South Central, just a little bit cooler into the interior, sitting in the mid to upper 40s, but temperatures across most of the state will begin to trend to the 60s and even in the 70s today. So for today, these high temperatures reaching much, much warmer than what they typically are, about 10 to 15 degrees warmer in South Central, even areas like Nome reaching up near 70 degrees, 73 degrees in Southwest Alaska. So enjoy that warm up ahead. We can hold on to these temperatures for the next couple of days. Now, as we look ahead, the only change coming to the forecast is for southeast. You'll notice the rest of the state stays clear and stays warm. We'll see some showers rolling through the Brooks Range and areas along the North Slope through today and through this afternoon. But for southeast, you'll start to see these clouds beginning to pick up in just a few hours, right around the time you take your lunch break. And then these showers will continue all throughout the rest of your Wednesday, even continuing throughout your Thursday. More of that rain is expected, and that's going to carry all the way into Friday as well. So brace for a little bit more of those warm temperatures. You're trading in your short sleeves for a pair of rain boots. But the good news for you in southeast is that if you've been having allergies the last couple of days due to these dry and warm conditions, you get a little bit of relief on the way with those showers rolling in. So for today across southeast, this is where temperatures are still in the 70s and 60s, but they will start to cool down for the next few days. Showers beginning to roll in by the afternoon in southern portions of the region, but expect cloud cover to increase just as early as in a few hours. Into the interior, mostly sunny skies ahead. Nothing too crazy going on with the forecast in the interior, but the interior is the place to be with temperatures in the 70s. And then as we transition into the North Slope, you'll notice mostly cloudy skies rolling in, but much warmer temperatures in Dead Horse, reaching near 40 degrees and near 61 degrees in Anaktuvuk. In western Alaska, this is where mostly sunny skies are prevailing. Temperatures sitting closer to that 70-degree mark and closer to 60 degrees in Unalakleet. Meanwhile, the Aleutian Chain, mostly sunny skies ahead, temperatures much warmer in the 50s. And for South Central, enjoy more of that sunshine. Few of those cloudy skies rolling in for Kodiak with temperatures in the low 60s, near 70s for the rest of the Kenai Peninsula and into the Copper River Basin, including areas like Whittier. And for the Matsu Valley, mostly sunny skies, temperatures in the 70s, and same thing for Anchorage. I'll have more details in your 7 days coming up soon.
39 college students left Texas on bikes with one destination in mind, Anchorage. They are now more than 2 weeks into a 70-day ride to raise money for cancer research and to carry the stories of the people they love. Charlie Fellows has more.
I'm riding for my grandfather, who passed away 4 years ago of esophageal cancer.
I ride for my grandmother, aka Grammy. She's a survivor of lymphatic cancer.
I mainly ride for my mom and my family. She passed away when I was 15 from lung cancer.
For these riders, cancer is not an abstract concept. It's a grandfather, a grandmother, a mom. They're part of Texas 4000, an annual bike ride from Austin to Anchorage. This year, 39 University of Texas students have raised $350,000 for cancer research. The riders are split into two teams, donating money to research centers along their routes. As of Tuesday, the Sierra team is in Lake Tahoe, California, on day number 17 out of 70.
Starting out in the flat West Texas, with a lot of wind and skinny shoulders, and going into the desert in New Mexico and Utah with much drier climates, harsh sun, headwinds.
Meanwhile, the Rockies team is further north. The two groups set to reunite in 43 days' time. The smaller teams making for deeper connections.
We kind of shoot quite high to hit this goal, but we also have a cushion around us, and that's our friends too. Whenever we're having a bad day, inevitably kind of catch us and be there for us.
Ain't no mountain high enough! Ain't no mountain high enough!
The group says the experience has been demanding, and the most difficult days of riding are still ahead. But morale is strong for one main reason.
Really, it's just like the people that we've been able to meet along the way, and like all the stories we've been able to hear about people's experience with cancer, and carrying that along with us is just something that's like so fulfilling and so heartwarming.
Charlie Fellows, Alaska's news source.
Based on their current schedule, the full group should arrive in Anchorage on July 25th.
Thanks for listening to our podcast. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcasts from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting. Available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.